Hello and welcome to the Archie Luxury program. Today I'd like to do a video clip on an email from Karl Marx. That's right, Karl Marx, the lefty. And he seems to have sent Archie an email, and I'll read it because I really thought it was so eloquently written that it deserves some airtime. Dear Archie, if I may. I write as someone who greatly enjoys your videos. I also write as someone fascinated by modern horology, its history, the amazing technical accomplishments in which is, I suspect, a golden age of watchmaking with not only the major corporate brands but the multiplicity of independent watchmakers. The late great George Daniels, who was the modern incarnation of Breguet, Millet, Dufour, Holter, etc., existing all at the same time. You are obviously into the concept of into the concept and lifestyle of luxury. I guess I'm less into lifestyle and more into sheer technical excellence. Precision, the highest standards of workmanship, technical, conceptual innovation. There's a deep paradox at work at the moment, a financial molasses in the Western world and ever-widening disparities between the haves and the have-nots. Yet we see unprecedented amounts spent on watches by the wealthy, rich, boy chicks from the city, or inherited wealth, or ridiculously overpaid sports jocks and thespians. Yes, I include Charlie Sheen in that category. Conspicuous consumption for the few tends to appear whenever you have financial austerity for the many. I suspect I'm like you, financially keeping head above water while ferociously paddling below the surface. Money is invariably tight. Life can be uncomfortable. I'm no Marxist, but the old Karl knew a thing or two. He described in detail how we as human beings tend to gather into societies that do one thing above all others. They make things, and those things are commodities. The curious property of commodities is that once we produce them, they exist in the world, seemingly in order to exert a curious, almost mystical domination over us creatures that make them. We want, we aspire, we crave to own them, thinking that owning an inanimate object can in some illusionary sense change us as human beings, change the quality of our lives, make us better in some sense. Of course, the reality is that this is simply not so. Our lives remain alienated and unfulfilled, however many Ferraris or Pateks we have in the larder of our lives. These days we think objects can give us the spiritual succor we once received from religion. This is simply false consciousness. Neither religion or things can satisfy the existing molasses we suffer from. Marx had a wonderful phrase to characterize this disease. He called it the fetishism of commodities. Fetishism, of course, does not come from the sex industry. It comes from ancient theology. It means to endow an object with properties it does not possess. I can't help thinking that my old craving for an Aston Martin V8 Vantage for a top-of-the-range Leica or a Patek are simply symptoms of the commodity fetishism Marx talked about. These desiring and cravings are powerful indeed. We want ever newer and more different things. We crave because we got bored. We need excitement and the thrill of the chase of aspiration. Rant over. Fuck me dead, what a rant. I'm a bit of a lefty and I'm never into this fucking Karl Marx shit. Okay, so I hope as something of a fan you'll indulge me with answers to some questions, assuming you have the time and inclination to do so. I'm curious to know, do you have a library of referent works on watches, Pateks, etc.? Do you use the watch mags, the net? Next question. As someone unable to afford a Patek, I tend to gravitate to Vicarious, Simula, books, catalogues, etc. Trouble is, anything to do with the luxury brand like Patek is consummately expensive. The 3-volume Bible on the subject will set you back almost £1,000 sterling. I'm also curious to know what you think of the independents such as F.P. Jean, Millet, Daniels, Dufour, etc., who produce amazingly innovative movements that can be much more expensive than even the top-range Pateks. I'd be grateful for a response and would ask that you treat my email in confidence, i.e. it's not for web-based consumption on YouTube, certainly not my name. Hope you don't mind. I think the videos are enormously entertaining. If you ever hit the UK, let me know and I'll meet up and have some schnapps together. Yours sincerely, Karl Marx. Interesting email. Thank you very much there, Karl. Now, I've got to say, I've never really fucking gone into Marxist theology, and now I know why I've never gone into Marxist theology, because I really don't give a fucking shit. I mean, fuck me dead. I want things because I'm Archie Luxury. I mean, fuck. I don't need to analyze why I want a fucking 30 grand watch on my wrist, or I want fucking, you know, an AP or Royal Oak. I just fucking do. I don't need to analyze. But, let's go through answering your questions. Reference books. Well, for me, I don't get interested in a brand until I own the fucking thing. Once I bought a Royal Oak, even though it was quartz, I started reading up on the Royal Oak, the history, the model, the progression, and, you know, that's what I really do. So I really, once I get a piece, I'll go and get catalogues, brochures, and research it on the net. I do everything. I'm a sponge for information. And I gotta say, when you walk into the main dealer agent for Audemars or any particular upmarket brand, and you have one of their watches on your wrist, they give you a great level of service. They kiss your ass like there's no fucking tomorrow. Irrespective of the fact you bought it on eBay, or, you know, you bought it from some widow and you haggled with that stupid bitch to get it for absolutely nothing, they suck your ass like there's no tomorrow. So that's my advice. You also said in your email to me, you said, as someone unable to afford a Patek. Now, you use that term like it's a fucking badge of honor, Karl. And let's be fucking honest. In this world, if you are living in the Western world, America, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, you know, well, most of fucking Europe, excluding those shithole ex-Soviet fucking disasters, you should be able to save and get a Patek or any Holy Trinity watch. I mean, let's be honest. I've bought Patek Philippe's from the 70s in 18 karat for as little as $2,000. Okay, that was quartz. Okay, it was a little bit doggy on the styling, but fuck, it was a Patek for just over $2,000. For $4,000, I bought a modern Calatrava with a date. Okay, it was quartz, but fuck, that's not a lot of money. And for about $7,000 to $8,000, you can get a Patek 3919. I have bought Audemars Piguet ultra slim pieces for pennies in the dollar. I've paid like under $2,000 for an ultra slim Audemars. I've bought a Royal Oak for under $2,000. Okay, it was quartz, but I mean, these are Holy Trinity watches that I've picked up for a steal. I've bought a Vacheron and Constantin classic dress watch 6405 from a dealer. Now, I didn't steal it from a little old lady. I bought it from a dealer for $2,200, tarted it up and sold it for $4,500. Now, Karl, it's called fucking capitalism, and I'm a great fucking fan of capitalism. I love this shit. And I gotta be honest with you, Karl. Anyone who's a McDonald's worker to any lowly jobs, and I've done them all. I've done cab driving. I've done all sorts of fucking things with a little bit of extra hours and a bit of swindling of the odd punter. You yourself can fucking get any of these luxury watches on the secondary market. It's a question of having the knowledge to know which brands and which pieces to buy at what price. And I tell you now, Carl, I've made a fucking dollar on every one I've resold. And I've gone up in the tree. I've gone up, up, up. I sold some of my collection off. I sold my quartz Audemars Piguet two-tone Royal Oak. I chipped in some money from some other pieces, and I'm buying for myself an Audemars Piguet Royal Oak 14790 ST. Steel, just serviced from AP. And absolute minter. And that's what happens, Carl. It's called capitalism. And fuck me dead. Anyone in the Western world, as long as they're prepared to give up certain things like cigarettes, perhaps whoring, perhaps going out with their mates and getting drunk every fucking week, you yourself can afford a luxury watch. It's not that fucking hard. It's a question of choices. Quit smoking. Quit buying that $3 coffee every day. And anyone in the Western world can afford an Holy Trinity watch. It is that easy. I'm Archie Luxury. Tell me what you think.